Hey, everybody loves to go out to eat, but do we ever think what happens behind the kitchen doors? Well, that's what this show is all about, as we take you behind those doors and show you the real world of culinary cuisine and how the magic happens with the magician who's been making magic happen, pulling rabbits out of his hat. Maybe really a rabbit. I don't know if he likes rabbit or not here. Chef Pascal.
Actually, it's a chef hat.
That's a chef hat, okay. I thought that was a bad pun here. You're going to pull a rabbit out of your hat. You probably serve it up.
I don't want to talk about rabbit. People may not like what
what you do with the rabbit. Well, today you got me excited because you brought in a great guest with a great charity who's doing a big event, a food and wine festival this weekend. We get to go.
Yeah, amazing, and I want to share that with as many people as we can, and because it's really, we are a network of chefs in Orange County, and our friend Christine Martin produced some special events, and to found some great charities. And so we have Michelle Woodhill. Mm-hmm. She's the CEO of the Priority Center in Santa Ana.
Yes, we're based out of Santa Ana.
And so we're going to talk about that, what the Priority Center is there for, mm-hmm. and also and then we will talk about the events coming up Sunday. And so, Michelle, welcome to the show. And can you tell us a little bit about yourself? I know you've been involved with some other organization before, very high-end and very successful mm-hmm. organization, and you really helped to do fundraising. That's correct?
That's correct.
Specialty?
Yep. That is my specialty. Okay. Yeah, so thank you so much for having me on the podcast today. This is really exciting. I get to talk about the Priority Center and food and wine, a few of my favorite things.
Good.
So I'm originally from Orange County, and that's where the Priority Center is based. We provide services all over the county of Orange. And for myself, I've been in philanthropy, predominantly fundraising for over 15 years. I was mostly in cancer research, so raising money for scientific grants.
I saw that.
Innovative biopharma projects and those sorts of things, as well as medical devices. Mm-hmm. But my very first nonprofit was the Priority Center. So at the time, it was called the Child Abuse Prevention Center. Okay. And I started there back in 2010. So it is a very full circle moment for me.
So probably because you deal with more than just child abuse, it's family issues, I guess. And so can you tell us how many people you touch with your organization?
Yes, that's a great question. We serve 2,500 families each year annually, and we actually don't serve people or children who have been abused. They might have experienced trauma themselves in their younger life, but we work with families, so predominantly parents, through our in-home parenting education program. And we also work with children who are placed in foster care. They will lose their parents due to a myriad of issues, but a lot of it has to do with incarceration or drug overdose. And so babies will be placed in foster care along with their siblings. So we provide all the basic needs that a new foster family might need to support those families. And then we also have a very important crisis stabilization program for children ages 6 to 17. And then this year we just included the TAY population, which are transitional age youth, so kids up to 25. Yeah. And those kids are experiencing suicidal ideations or they have attempted suicide. So it is an extremely important program, especially because we are the only organization in the entire county of Orange that provides that support stabilization.
So how do they get to you? Do you have connection with a caregiver or a hospital or we take care of mental issues?
Yes, we get referrals from a variety of different sources. For the crisis stabilization program, it comes through the crisis assessment team, which is funded by the county. They go into hospitals. So, for example, CHOC is our biggest referral partner for that crisis mental health program. And our team gets a referral, we contact them, and then we provide the services. For the in-kind program, which is called Basic Needs, we get a referral from a social worker. So once a child has been put into the foster care system, they then get a social worker or a caseworker, and they reach out to us with the needs of the child. And then the in-home parenting education programs, those come through the county as well, or we'll get it directly from the hospital, where a labor and delivery nurse might see that a mom with a newborn needs some more support services. So we'll get a referral for that from them. And that program serves families with children aged 0 to 5.
Is that also related with a financial issue?
If there's a financial issue, you mean if they're struggling? Yes,
Yeah.
of course. If they need other resources, maybe job assistance, they could get referred to us. And so our in-home parenting program also includes a program for CalWorks. So if you are enrolled in CalWorks, which is a job assistance program through the county, we can help you with your parenting needs. And that might be understanding nutrition, developmental milestones for your baby or your toddler. And what I like to call it is a one-on-one mommy and me.
Yeah, it's also, probably sounds like it's also so case by case.
Yes.
No, there's not two cases
No.
the same.
Correct.
No. Do you follow up when kids are in foster care? How long can you keep following up?
Yes, so our program for infant toddler is for kids 0 to 5. So our caseworkers will stay with that family for up to 3 years. So let's say you get a referral from a newborn stage, we'll stay with you through the child's age of 3 years. And then with the basic needs program, we will keep in touch with the families that want to keep in touch. You know, same thing with the crisis program. We will have some families that come back and ask for the services again. But most times these families, they receive our services and they're in a really good place and then they like to move on.
And we can talk again about this, but if anybody listen to us or want to share what you just said, how do they get to you?
Absolutely. So our website is the best source of information. It's theprioritycenter.org, and it lists all of our programs. It lists the ways that you could get a referral. It lists ways that you can help. So if you're listening and you feel that you don't need the resources or help through our programs, we have different volunteer opportunities. We have different events that we'll talk about. So in addition to this Food and Wine Festival on Sunday, we also host a tennis pickleball tournament in October. And then we have our Families Helping Families, which is a large adopt-a-family program. And the community will come together and adopt 250 to 300 families.
So the funding just come from the public?
The majority of our funding does come from the County of Orange through county contracts.
Okay.
But that is something I'm trying to increase on the private philanthropy side, being that's my area of expertise. We are working with a development team, which includes my chief development officer and 2 people under him, to grow our private philanthropy, because I'm sure you've heard that the government funding is not as reliable.
On and off. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. There's a lot of stipulations with county
yeah.
contracts, and with private philanthropy, a donor can decide how and when and how much they want to support your organization.
Wonderful. So, how did you get involved with the festival, the Chef Festival?
So that was a partnership that Kristen Martin came to us, and I think we got a referral from one of our donors or our board members that suggested that we work with her, because she does these these types of events with food and wine with other organizations like KidWorks and the Marine Mammal Center in Laguna Beach. And, you know, everyone has a gala, right? Every organization has a gala. It has the same template. You show up, cocktail hour, silent auction, you go in a room, you listen to people receive a few awards, you fund the need, and then you go home. Maybe there's a band or a performance, but our board really wanted to look at different ways to raise money in a gala type environment, but not be a traditional gala. And that came through COVID when we had to cancel the gala. So then when things started opening up, the board wanted to look at more innovative ways to raise funding. And this is only our 2nd year doing this type of gala, but it's been immensely successful the first year. Everybody loves it. And we have about a 90% retention. So 90% of the people that went our first year are coming back, which is really high for a nonprofit gala.
Yeah, and just to say, because you talk about COVID, this is a 100% outdoor event.
Right.
And so each chef, each sponsor, wineries, or the suppliers have their own station. So you collect whatever drink you want, you can build up a plate, and then you go in the center, like a courtyard, and next to the ocean, you just sit down right there. By the way, this is at the Hyatt Regency in Huntington Beach.
Yes.
Yes. And from 5 to 10.
Yes.
And
yes.
So it's very pleasant, and there's some vibrant music and not much interruption. There's no. Unless, are you going to make a speech here?
I'm going to speak very, very shortly.
Okay.
Well, not shortly this podcast, but I'm going to have a very short speech because I know people don't really want to hear me talk. So I'll be introducing a little bit about the agency and then our program speaker, and she's going to share a success story of how our programs changed her life. Then we ask for some support, and then Flashback Heart Attack performs, which I'm very excited about because being a person that grew up in Laguna Beach, I used to see them perform at the Royal Hawaiian all the time.
Oh, good. That's wonderful. Okay. So it's a cause, it's a serious issues, but you got also enjoy your life.
Yes, exactly.
So you share your life every day at the center, I'm sure, pretty much. And so how many members do you have on the board there? I saw a long list.
Yes, so we have 19 members currently, and they span from various different industries. We have investment banking, we have community philanthropists, we have lawyers, CPAs, we have a professor of sociology from Cal State Fullerton, we have HR experts. So it's really one of my goals is to expand the board into other areas that we don't represent. I'd love to have someone from the medical field that serves children, maybe a speech therapist, mental health therapist, a pediatrician. It would be great to have that perspective on our board because a lot of our programming is related to the healthcare and educational needs of kids. One of the other programs that we have that is actually sunsetting at the end of this month is our services for families with young children. And what that program does is it goes directly into the schools and provides free assessments. So you can get a child assessed for anything on the spectrum, such as autism or dyslexia and any other disability. And then we advocate for them to get an independent education plan, which is pretty life-changing for some kids whose learning disabilities have been ignored.
How do you find out the needs of each case? You have interviews first, and then you direct to anybody who is in charge of a placement of
So with that program specifically, it's through the school districts. Okay. I'll give you an example. One of the cases that we had was a mother was becoming increasingly stressed out due to her child being called into the office every day and then her having to leave work. Being a single mother, she was fearful of losing her job, and she didn't really notice anything with her own child at home. She said, sometimes it would take longer to do math homework, and I have an 8-year-old, so I get that. Math can be difficult. Yeah. But at school, he was very fidgety. He wasn't paying attention. He was distracting students. He was talking during the lectures of the presentation of the classroom. So the school district reached out to us, and we went in and did a referral for him and did some assessments, and it turned out that he was autistic and had ADHD. So then we referred him out to the proper resources to give him, medical support. Yeah. And the mother was able to then focus on her career and focus on just being a good mom because that's all she wanted to do.
Wonderful. To connect with me on what I do as a chef, and do you have any of your kids, children that maybe would love to cook in the kitchen? Because we can help you to do placement.
Oh, that would be great. No, my kids love to cook, actually. Yeah. They love to help me in the kitchen. From a young age, we got one of those little helpers. So it's a wood kind of stool, and so the kids climb on it, and then it makes them counter height, and so they can help mix and measure things. Yeah, they love it.
Good. Because, I'm involved teaching at Saddleback College Culinary Art,
Oh, very
and
cool.
we do have sometime, because there is not a space. There's kind of a demand to have students in needs, and so it happened sometime in my class that I have a kid that is in need. I need some support because he has family issues or personal issues, and it's not a lot related to what you do, but even one case for me is very special to take care of that student.
Well, yeah, let me know when you have any space, because then we can ask our caseworkers and see if they have a referral for someone that might want to go there. Because I'm sure that sounds like a really fun opportunity.
Yeah, it's not just working in the kitchen because it's complicated, it's stressful, but going to take a cooking class at the college, it may give some direction.
Right.
Yeah.
Some inspiration. Hey, I want to be a chef too.
Yeah, that's good. Wonderful.
Well, I'm sure most of these kids have heard of Ratatouille, so there's that
sure,
too.
Sure, of course. But I'm a real ratatouille.
Exactly. Yes. So instead of a rabbit, it's a rat under the hat.
So, all right, and so you've done the event with us. You have the gala as well, and you also saw on the website. If you go actually on the website, we can give you a donation all year long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we welcome general donations. That really helps fund programs that are short on funding, just like this program that's sunsetting at the end of this month. We are still committed to have the program and privately fund it because we do see there's a need in the community. Many children go without being diagnosed with any sort of developmental delays, and sometimes they don't get diagnosed with ADHD until maybe they're a junior in high school. But schools can really provide some support services well before then. And so that is one program that we will be privately funding. Mm-hmm. And we could always use more donations for that.
Wonderful. So you have a next goal for the Priority Center?
I have a lot of goals for the Priority Center, but I'm not ready to share all of them yet. But I want to say that some of them have to do with increasing private philanthropy, so ways that me, the board, and the development team can get more private funding through community grants and private grants, maybe corporate funders, as well as developing an individual giving program. I think at some point I would love to do a campaign and also expand regionally would be great, not just serving in Orange County, but in surrounding areas. And then, all these things have to be approved by the board, of course. Mm-hmm. But I would also love to bring some advocacy work into our organization. There's a lot of opportunity for us to be a thought leader within the space and help pass some legislation that is, maybe providing better services for children in schools or around mental health, because there's a lot of need there.
Wonderful. So does family can approach your services, or even kids can come and say, if they hear about what you do, say, I need help. Mm-hmm. Can they do that?
So they can call us, and then they can, if they need help within our school program that's providing the assessments, that one also does parenting education. They can come and receive those services for free because that's privately funded. But many of our programs are supported with county contracts, and so they do have to go through the county to get a referral. But we would guide them on how they could find those referral networks.
So if they go, you will guide them?
Yes, absolutely.
Right. Okay. You cannot just take care of them right away. There's a path.
Yes, unfortunately, like most things.
Yeah. All right. And anything else you want to talk about the events on Sunday?
I got some questions if you do here.
Go ahead.
All right, so this is your first time out here. And Kristen puts on great events, by the way. She done
does.
this for big organizations many times. And for those who haven't been to our events, I'm assuming it's the same. There'll be like booth set up. You pay a fee, and then you get in and you can taste anything you want, right?
Yes.
Type of stuff in there. Any idea how many people are there? This is
Yeah, we have about 400 people.
400. I'm sorry, booths. How many?
Yes. Oh, booth.
70 booths.
70 booths. And so big restaurants,
Yeah.
resorts.
There's a great selection of restaurants and product suppliers. And
So which brings me to the next question. Chef Pascal is going to be there in a booth?
yes.
Usually we're walking around grabbing interviews. We still may do some of that because we're going to show up as well here.
Yeah.
Lovely.
But,
We can get on your media list here. We'll be there.
Sure.
And,
Absolutely.
And
Great.
we'll wander around, grab some stuff. I may have to do it on my own because Chef Pascal's going to be working.
so if you come to my booth, just say, "Oh, I heard of it on OCTalkRadio."
What is your booth? Why do you have a booth? You're beyond booths. You're just here to report.
It's part of behind the kitchen door.
So because you're now a brand ambassador for what?
I represent the brand of so new. It's a salmon farm.
Where they grow salmon.
In Pacific.
Right.
And we do still-head salmon, and it's called A0, O0,
Spell it out.
A0. A,
8.
A.
Oh, A, the letter A.
And then 0. That's Latino. And then, but the quality of the salmon is amazing. No antibiotic, no just natural feed, and control space.
And more people are worried about trying to harvest wild salmon and all the difficulties therein.
More.
And so you're farm raising it. But you do it like, how does it work? How do you
We
raise
farm raise because that's the only way to actually to control that they are in a good environment.
Right.
And to control, to kind of stop the overfishing.
That's right. Exactly. Because that's what's happening, overfishing.
Overfishing.
And out to capture one thing, they're capturing too much stuff here.
Yeah, you can always say, oh, it's a wild salmon, but if you overfish, there's no more wild salmon.
Yeah, exactly.
So we will promote that.
So we can taste it when we go there?
Sure,
this wild
sure.
salmon? And it's A and then the letter 0. A0. All right. And is there a website or anything that they can go learn about this?
Yes. And I will send it to you.
Okay. All right. I just had to get a plug in there because you're going to be working the event.
Yeah.
You're not just wandering around like you
put
used
my
to.
cap. A0.
So at this event, what a fun way to raise money. Because what does it cost and our tickets? How do they get tickets and all that kind of stuff?
So they can go to theprioritycenter.org to purchase tickets, and they are $500 a person.
Okay. And for that, unlimited
Food, wine, and fun times.
Yeah.
Wow. And you can taste Chef Pascal's wild farm-raised salmon there.
I will do I'm going to do a very special ceviche.
With the
Ooh.
salmon? Oh, okay. All right. We don't want to force everybody to your booth because there's some cool stuff there. I've seen top chefs in town usually. Kristen usually gets, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Do we have any other, do you want to give any shout-outs to who's coming or anything? Do we know?
I can, because if I do a couple, the other one
Everybody
will
be
complain.
Yeah.
They're all my
Why
friends.
didn't you mention me?
So, really, some of the top chefs.
And what day is it again? It's on Sunday.
Sunday.
At the Hyatt Regency.
Regency.
And what time does it start?
5 to 10.
5 p.m.
to 10. 5
Yes.
to 10.
And if you want to decide the day of to come, you can come on down and decide the day of.
That's what I
We will
was gonna
still
say.
register you in person.
Okay, people can still show up and just purchase a ticket that day.
You'll be there.
Well, I'll be there. Hopefully, I can get a sneak in on the media pass here or something. That's what I'm always trying to taste all this stuff here.
I don't have dishes to clean, but
I may have to clean something. I'll work for
I'll
work for wages here.
I think I know somebody I can get you in.
All right, all right, good. Well, because we do like to gather some interviews, like we usually do. Walk around, give a sample of what people see there. Because I don't think if you've never been to one of these things before, it's hard to picture how many booths, how many people, how many flavors and tastes and things you get. It's quite a bargain.
Try to do their own special thing.
Yeah.
So that's why the variety of food is amazing.
Yeah, and it really is. I mean, It's not an inexpensive day out, but it's certainly well worth it, and you're giving to a great cause.
Where do you go when there are 50 chefs and 50 different dishes?
Never.
Yeah.
Only through Chef have I been fortunate enough to wander into some of these things here, and they're made, including some of Kristen's events.
Yeah,
That's why I have some
yeah.
familiarity with it. So, all right, good deal. This Sunday, tickets are where again? Priority?
ThePriorityCenter.org.
PriorityCenter.org. All right, everybody should grab one and go.
Actually, if you go to the website, priority.org,
Priority
you
Center.
advertise the Coastal Food and Wine Festival.
Yes, it's on the homepage. So as soon as you go to the website, you'll see it front and
Just
center.
pop up. Yeah.
And how did they come up with the theme? What is it? Coastal? I mean, he's growing fish along the coast here or something. But what?
It fits
think-
perfect with my product.
Yeah, probably because it's on the coast.
I guess.
It's on Huntington Beach. You are right there off PCH. You have a beautiful view of the ocean. It's a gorgeous June day, so it's not too hot.
Yeah.
And by the time you arrive, the supposed June fog
The June
is gone.
balloon will be gone.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, there's all kind of food and wine festival all along California.
That's what I was getting at.
coast.
Right. Yeah.
Even I've been involved with the Pebble Beach Food
Yeah.
and Wine Festival. So
Pebble Beach. Only you get to go to Pebble Beach at the Food and Wine Festival.
Yeah.
I don't get to go to that one. All right.
well, if you want to be my
Yes.
assistant,
Yes, of course.
So really, Orange County and also due to Kristen is very supportive of charities. Now, I don't know
Extremely,
if other
yes.
counties are the same, but our community is very supportive. And don't you feel that you work in a great community here and try to help you in your organization?
Yes, absolutely. The philanthropic community in Orange County is really special. You know, people are very committed to supporting all the different causes, and they might have a mission that they align with better than another, but people are really devoted to helping families and just children in general within Orange County. And the thing about Orange County is that the philanthropists here and just the community supporters, they like to support these programs that are serving people in Orange County. You know,
That's the key. We hear
Yes.
so many different. There are literally 8,000 or 9,000 charities, and so often people want to know. Yes, but is it going to stay here? There are obviously big national charities and well worth donating to, but the money gets dispersed lots of places. I always find people really want to know that it stays local and does direct.
And
Absolutely.
thanks to all the major entrepreneurs, major management company, you know, they're able to help. You know, that's very important.
Yes.
And because even here at UCI, you know, there's a lot of involvement of the community, but you work on another thing. You've been working before on the cancer research. Can you tell us a little
That
bit
is
about this?
huge.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, it's near and dear to Chef's heart. He's just gone through a serious bout of cancer and
Oh,
talks
really?
about it all the time here.
Oh, what-
And through UCI here has
I got
saved
it.
him. Yeah, really.
Lymphoma.
Oh, lymphoma?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know the researchers, some of them here at UCI. I've worked with them in previous organizations, and as well as my previous, directly before this one, I was at an organization called Tower Cancer Research Foundation, and we funded a researcher who focused on pancreatic cancer here.
Oh, you're kidding. I should tell you this off camera, but we do a show about pancreatic cancer here.
Oh, really?
And
That's
we're
wonderful.
always looking to find, because very few people fund research into very deadly cancers like that. Why bother? I don't want to be harsh, but people don't live very long. So they haven't been a lot of focus, maybe for that reason, or maybe because it's not as large as some other cancers. Or
But
something.
there is hope.
There's hope. So
progress,
yeah,
there's
if you've got
progress.
somebody that we could talk to, we'd love to have them on the show.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a really bright young researcher. I'm completely blanking on his name, but he's here in the innovation labs. So he works with all the other cancer researchers it's one building and there's multiple floors of labs, and
Right.
they have the most up-to-date equipment. It's really impressive. And for me, growing up in Orange County, it's really nice to see that UCI is attracting some of the young, really innovative talent
Cutting-edge
out there.
stuff going on
Exactly.
here with cancer research. And obviously huge hospitals are starting with UCI and City Hope and Hoag and all these others. We seem to be a center for all these giant hospitals here in Irvine, in the middle of Orange County, all doing amazing cutting-edge stuff here, starting with UCI. I have to plug UCI. But.
Yeah, no, I love the UCI. I mean, my husband sees an oncologist here. Her name is Dr. Angela Fleischman, and she's one of the top experts in a disease called myeloproliferative neoplasm.
Okay. Myelohuda, what? Let me see. You said that one rather fast. Myelohuda, what?
Myeloproliferative neoplasm.
What is that?
And it's within the type of blood cancer world, but it's really not as extreme as lymphoma or leukemia. But the way that the cells respond and mutate and grow is similar to a blood cancer because it is a blood cancer cell. But I got to know her over 10 years ago when I was at the Leukemia Lymphoma Society because she had received a grant for her research from them back then. And she was one of the first researchers here at UCI. Wow. Doing her clinical work and her research work.
So what makes UCI, because I don't think people realize in Orange County, UCI in particular, but Orange County in general, is a center for medtech, medical devices,
technology,
developing cures for cancers, all this kind of stuff. Drugs, I guess I don't want to just say drugs, but there's lots of drug companies and whatnot here in Orange County. What makes Orange County such a hotbed for
Because you work with
research?
pharmaceutical too.
I work with where?
On pharmaceutical.
Yeah, so I worked with pharmaceutical companies around the country and those that are originated, in Japan, like Daiichi Sanko. They have offices in New Jersey now. But I think because it's a very innovative place, perhaps. I'm not sure what drives people to come here, but, UCI is a big player in that, as well as, Google has offices here.
Johnson & Johnson.
Yes, Johnson & Johnson.
All the big pharma companies here, yeah.
I came here not knowing, but now I won't leave.
Right.
I know I can get good care there.
Yeah, and actually I did a tour of the new Comprehensive Cancer Center off Jamboree.
Yeah.
And now here at UCI, they're able to provide stem cell transplants. So patients don't have to go all the way to City of Hope to receive those.
Okay.
And for a patient in Orange County,
that's what
you did.
Yeah.
See, that's incredible.
Dr. Professor Cheria is a big researcher and now start to do more immunotherapy as well.
Fantastic.
So it's fantastic.
Yeah.
The one I'm trying to get him to get in here, and he keeps saying, yeah. At the new hospital over at Jamboree, whatever it is over there, they claim that they're putting in a state-of-the-art kitchen. Because the one thing everybody complains about, every hospital I've ever gone to in my entire life, anywhere in the country, is the bad food at the hospital.
Yes.
You're there to get better. But in the meantime, they're feeding you bland, tasteless stuff you don't like, don't want. And I thought, why can't food be part of it? So apparently they're trying they've made an effort, a big effort.
Fortunately, I cannot make a statement on that because I haven't been hospitalized in that place. I was hospitalized in Chapman.
Oh, okay.
In Orange. But all I know, if the food comes from the kitchen, they have a cafe.
Right.
Amazing. Fantastic food, modern California cuisine.
Because doesn't food get you better? Doesn't food stimulate your appetite? When you have cancer and all these other things you don't want to eat?
Whatever situation I am in, if I have to get a meal, I want to make sure it's a good meal. So when I get in hospital...
Even in hospital, you want a good food.
I look at the menu and make corrections on the menu.
No. You must not
give that to my doctor, my nurse, and I say, can you bring this to the chef?
Yeah, we need a little beef bourguignon in here or something.
And then I get a surprise visit from the executive chef. And then the food got better just like that.
Well, I do think
that's great.
I've read that, and I hope that's true. And we'd love to have somebody come on. If anybody knows anybody at UCI's hospital, come on. Yeah, we need to find somebody to talk about the food component of it.
Sure.
I'm sure I can find someone for you.
All right, so you got two guests you got to find us: the pancreatic cancer and the food at the new hospital.
Okay.
We have a great chef there.
All right. Yeah, the pancreatic researcher would probably be really interesting because last weekend they just had the American Society of Clinical Oncology conference. It's an international conferences where oncology professionals from all over the world go to Chicago, and people present their latest findings in their clinical trials.
Yeah.
And for the first time, a drug on pancreatic cancer was presented that prolonged survival.
Oh my goodness! Because survival, the woman who hosts the show is a 20+ year survivor of pancreatic cancer,
Which is really unheard of.
Very unheard of. When she did it, was
it's not a vaccine. You just prevention to slow down any
to help you prolong your life. When she was diagnosed 20-some years ago, the prognosis was, I think, 4 or 5 years. Now it's gone up to maybe 10 years or something like that. It's still a very deadly form of cancer.
Yeah, it is. When you hear the news, it was very scary. You say, this is it.
She always says that's the first thing you do is Google, because somebody says you have something.
Yes.
You go Google and she says, oh my God, you think you're dead.
Don't Google.
And for many you are, yeah, right.
Don't Google when you're sick, because you remember only the bad part of it.
Yes. When I worked in cancer, we always said to patients, when you get diagnosed, please do not Google anything.
No. Let your care giver take care of it.
But wouldn't that be your first impulse? Is to go
Of course. I mean, everybody wants to Google.
What am I up against, and what's the wonder cure, or what's the prognosis?
Well, the problem is, you have doctors or professors that are really knowledgeable, and they give you a list of medication that fix all together. And then if you start taking something else, deviate it may conflict with your own treatment. So you have to be.
But everybody wants to cure themselves these days. They want some whatever. They want to go to Mother's and get an herb. They want to do some.
Oh, you can do that.
Eastern practice. They want to supplement Western medicine.
I changed my diet when I was diagnosed, and actually that's part of my better feeling, because I always eat well, but I eat better now. And
we should do a show where you talk about it, because Roberta said one of the things she did is change her diet at a suggestion, and specifically getting rid of sugar. She was addicted to Dr. Peppers and stuff like that.
Reduce almost zero sugar, and there's some ingredients. Don't drink any soda, and organic vegetables. Fish, seafood, all these things. Because even when I get a blood test, I look at the blood test and say, oh, I'm a deficiency in that, I have too much of this. So then I Google and say, what can make the adjustment? And then you can adjust.
Well, I didn't mean to veer off into cancer research and other stuff. That's not necessarily what we're here to talk about. But you brought it up.
Behind my kitchen doors.
It's what's happening behind your kitchen doors. We should do a show on that sometime about how people change their diet. Or we had somebody came in here, a woman who, I may have this wrong, wasn't on your show. Was it on your show? And the woman who had written a cookbook after her child got some sort of deadly cancer. Yeah. And she said, I don't know that cooking would help, but I don't know what else to do as a mom. Yeah. My child life is at risk. So can I find foods that maybe help them be stronger and ward off things and fight better? And she's made a real crusade of this, of eating better to improve your chances.
To me, a little bit more broad, the fact that you cook for your child, and the child sees that you cook for him.
Oh, interesting,
you make it, the bonding is...
well, we always talk about in the show how food is related to your family and your parents and your feeling good. And
friends.
There's something communal about food.
So we went to that part of medical because we want to know really who is Michelle.
And that's where she comes from here.
Where she comes from. And where do you go to college?
I went to George Washington University for undergrad, and I went to Suffolk University Law School in Boston.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
And does your degree in law school help you what you do now?
I would say so. I actually went to law school because I wanted to run a nonprofit or start my own nonprofit.
Wow. Okay.
And while in law school, I really wanted to focus on issues surrounding children. So I worked for a guardian ad litem attorney. I worked in our juvenile defenders clinic. I wrote my law review paper on child pornography because there were some interesting cases regarding virtual child pornography and how at that time it wasn't illegal because it's not harming an actual child.
Notice how she worked in that she was on law review. That's not easy to get into law review.
But it was a great experience. And so I think that all of those skills that I learned in law school transferred to being a CEO and to actually running various different
last
fundraising
question, and then we got to go
programs.
because we got somebody else waiting outside to do our next show here. What, with the Priority Center, you're there to help what age range mostly?
So we are there to prevent abuse and neglect through our 5 core programs: the Crisis Stabilization Program, in-home parenting education, services for children with young families, our Basic Needs Program, and then our CalWorks program.
So these are people at risk or whatever, and then they get recommended to see if they can prevent this from happening or deepening or getting worse or whatever.
Precisely.
They're not all teenagers.
No, we work mostly with parents or foster parents. So we provide the support so that they can focus on things such as getting stable work, parenting their children in a positive way. We teach through Triple P, so Positive Parenting Program. And the whole purpose is that there are so many stressors in everyone's lives. 95% of our clients live below the poverty line. So socioeconomic stress is a big one. And
it's hard to listen to that when we live in a country that we think is
affluent,
right.
Should not have any problem.
Right. And I think a lot of people who live in South County feel that way, or they just don't think about it because they don't see it. But, you drive a few miles and you will see it. You'll see families who are impacted due to inflation or...
And economic pressures are hitting everywhere. We have people coming from the food banks and stuff from Second Harvest, and they said, when times are tough, you'd be surprised when people pull up in a Mercedes or a Tesla
but the
or whatever.
Thing is,
because we're all being impacted economically, and that puts a huge stress on people at any level.
Unfortunately, this is not new.
No.
It gets worse, but this is not new.
So last question on this whole thing. Then we could talk forever about this. I adopted my only daughter out of foster care.
Aww.
And so we were foster parents originally under the Foster Adopt program, and she's our daughter for the last 15 years. So I'm a real soft spot for this. 500,000 kids roughly are removed from their homes to save them. Most of them never go home to anybody, and then we simply turn them loose and, ta-da.
Yeah.
So,
good for you.
Anyway, I just want to throw a plug in for that. All right, so one last time, how do they find tickets? How do they find you, the Priority Center?
ThePriorityCenter.org. You can also follow us on Instagram and LinkedIn at The Priority Center. And I hope you guys can join us on Sunday. It'll be a really fun event.
And you can Google Coastal Food and Wine Festival 2026.
Okay, and come by and taste the chef's new salmon.
Or at least come say hello.
Come and say hello. All right, very good. Thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thank you, Pascal. Thank you.
I hope the event Sunday can be very successful.
I'm sure it will be.
I know it already is due to the attendance.
Yeah, we're really excited.
Right, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Well, there you have it. One more reason to tune in each and every time to hear what's happening behind the kitchen doors. Right here in Orange County's only community radio station, OC Talk Radio, streaming live from our studios here at the University of California, Irvine's Beale Applied Innovation Center.